OpenAI is getting into the hardware game. WTF. Now, if you ain't noticed, I'm gonna be talking about Screenless AI, but for those that don't know, I'm Q Harrison Terry, and every day I ask myself, what's the future? That's what WTF stands for. And I take detailed notes, I store them in a journal. This year I've been recording them, so you're watching that right now. So what I wanna get into is this whole notion of Screenless AI, and where does this come from? Well, OpenAI today said that they are on track to unveil their first hardware device in the second half of 2026. Now, this isn't random. Sam Altman has been talking about this device for some time now. He even bought Jony Ive's old company so that they could work together. Now, you know Jony Ive, he is a designer of all designers. He is that guy when it comes to design. He brought you the iPhone, he brought you the MacBook, he brought you the Apple Watch. I can keep going. But Steve Jobs and Jony Ive, very well documented. And it seems like Sam Altman's trying to recreate that essence. But this is going to be an AI product, not an app. And it's going to be a hardware device. Now, we don't know necessarily what this is. There have been too many rumors and too many reports. I don't want to talk about that. I'll just kind of give a high level overview. Some of the reports say that this is going to be a small device. It's going to be a hardware thing. Sam Altman himself said it's going to feel very peaceful compared to a smartphone. I don't know too many hardware devices that are peaceful. I think the Oura Ring might situate itself maybe as peaceful, but beyond that, I can't think of too many hardware devices that are peaceful. If you got one, drop it in the comments. What's a peaceful device to you that is tech enabled and maybe can you access AI? I can't think of any. Whoop might be peaceful. I don't know. Like, let's have that conversation. But coming back to this, it's not gonna have a screen. So there are some devices that don't have screens that we integrate with. The most notable one that Jony Ive has also worked on is known as the AirPods. And so when you think about the AirPods and where they sit in the whole ecosystem, Apple's kind of got that on lock. They have a smartphone, they have a MacBook, they got a tablet, they got all types of things to integrate with AirPods and create this seamless, ubiquitous experience. So OpenAI doesn't have that. What do they have? They have ChatGPT. And ChatGPT has a lot going for it. I'm not going to sit here and say ChatGPT is whack because ChatGPT showed us what generative AI could be. And if they're going screenless, that must mean that there's a new platform or a new paradigm shift. And so that's what I want to talk about today. I'm going to talk about what screenless actually means. Then I'm going to give forth a model of like what I think about when I think about screenless AI. And so to jump to what I think when I think of screenless AI, I don't think that screen doesn't mean an interface. There still has an interface. It just has more to do with less friction. So screenless could just mean it's ubiquitous, it's ambient. You might have a voice interface. You might have subtle audio cues. You might have haptics. You might have lights. You're gonna have something that's just gonna make your life a little bit easier, and AI should just get it. And so basically the shift here is you do what you do throughout your day and the user interface now becomes your day because all the context around, or all the context that is needed is around you, and it's the AI's job to capture that and process the signal from the noise. Now, the old way of this was we would go to a device. For example, I'm gonna use Google search because I made a video about this yesterday. Go watch my video from yesterday if you wanna know about the old world in Google search, but I'm gonna just recap it just in a second here, right here. The old world, as we talked about yesterday, is you ask your AI or your search box something like, you know, what are the best cars for me, or what are the best SUVs? And they'll give you a top 10 list of a blog, maybe a consumer report link, whatever. And that was SEO, and you would browse and you wouldn't necessarily get the context that you needed because you would have to do the research yourself, but that was the old world. Now we're in this in-between where the old world still is very relevant today, but now we're moving towards a much more nuanced kind of AI is almost here, is it here, that type of world. And in that transition, we're starting to see that the AI is starting to suggest things to us, and who owns that suggestion is very key. Now, that's not the point of this. What the point is just to showcase kind of where we're going, and where we're going right now is, I think the new world, especially when it comes to screenless devices, is an AI that notices patterns and helps you become, I think that, sorry y'all, I'm trying to talk, but you have an AI that notices patterns and offers and helps to get you there. I keep messing up, y'all. I keep messing up. Let me run that back. You have an AI that notices what's going on in your day, like the patterns, and it offers to help you before you ask. So we go from initiating the ask for help to it automatically kind of interrupting you and saying, hey, here's a solution, here's this. And so the way I think about this, right, it's in 3 layers. The first layer is the model. So that's obviously the intelligence layer. The second layer is the memory. And that is like all the preferences and user history and all the data, like the user data. So it has to know you in order to like really be helpful to you. And then the third thing is the moment. And I think that this is more so the timing and the interruption that I just described. And it should feel like an aha moment. When it's done well, you know, ChatGPT just gets you and you ask it to make something and it does it. You ask it to generate an image and it does that. And that's very brilliant when it works. Now, I don't think the smartest AI is going to be the winner. I don't think people here are going to ask themselves, what's the smartest AI? And I don't think we have to debate what an aha moment is in AI. We've clearly seen it. Like when you think about ChatGPT, when it was first unveiled, when you did the, 3.5 and it goes mainstream, and that was crazy. Everybody was just like, yo, this AI thing's going to be big. Tesla, full self-driving. I was about to say something else, but like it's full self-driving. I'm in a car right now, it's driving itself. That's an aha moment. The third thing I think that we all can kind of get behind is definitely, Claude Code? Claude Code is definitely an aha moment where it's like you go from a prompt to an app or from a prompt to a website. Basically, you can prompt and you'll get something that an engineer used to make very easily. And I think that that's why the aha moment is hard to capture, but it's key because that's going to show you, you know, how well situated your AI is. Now, I could keep going on and on about this topic. I kind of want to stop here because I think that like this is a platform shift. I don't think it's a gadget. I don't think it's about, you know, this has more processing power than that. I think, you know, phones made the internet portable, and screenless devices are going to make the internet ambient. And you won't search as much. You'll just accept suggestions. We're starting to see it even in the enterprise world. So we used to have this thing called Otter. It used to be on every freaking call that you'd be on. And it was cool when it first came out because it would like summarize your notes in your meetings. Now I'm seeing more amulets. I'm seeing more bracelets. I'm seeing the Claude AI. It's a digital note taker. People just add it to the back of their iPhone, and like you're now in this world where you don't know if somebody's recording you. You just kind of have to expect that you're always being recorded. And like it was cool when a corporation was doing it for security of the premises. Now it's like, you know, Bob and Jane are doing it because they want to give their AI more context. And it is really getting that weird. If you look at like the Meta glasses, right? Those are very much a device that's situated in just capturing your the contextual stuff around you. You've got microphones, you've got cameras, you've got Facebook or Meta, and you know, people like it. They use them because they want the utility of like having like headphones that you don't have to put anything in your ear. But at the same time, you're collecting all this data. Now, the greatest thing saving us today is the fact that the battery doesn't last that long on those things. But, you know, just fast forward just a tad bit into the future, and that's not going to be the case anymore. And so I'm going to end here, actually. We know that we're going to a world where the battleground is going to be for the default memory. So these entities, these AI platforms, they're going to need all of the data in your life. As much as they can ingest, they're going to want to get your calendar, your messages, your email, your location, your payment, your contacts. They're going to want to know all your biometric preferences because health is going to be a very big moat. But, you know, it's not going to be the things that you paused that and said, oh, I like this car. Like how I made the example earlier. It's not going to be about which car I liked. It's going to be about what do I like to do in that car? And what data source informs that entity of that preference. And this is getting really, really deep, so I'm gonna pause here. But I do think that discovery engine is actually key, because like even the AIs in the Tesla, like I can talk to Grok right now, but Grok only knows kind of where I'm going. It doesn't know what I like to eat when I go to certain restaurants yet, but it's going to figure that out. And when it does, there's going to be this whole massive shift. And I think that that's where the platform lock-in, and then also a lot more aha moments are going to be had. So I'll recap this real quick before we get up out of here. I think there's three things. There's obviously the model, that's the intelligence layer. You then have the memory, which is where all your data and your preferences, that's that layer. And then lastly, you have the moment. That's where the thing just feels like it belongs there. And that's that aha moment. And really, that's gonna be about timing and interruption, right? Do you perfectly time this event with your AI, and so it surprises and delights, or do you interrupt to make the day or the task that the person is doing much better? What do you think? You think we're gonna go into a more surveilled state? Is that just an inevitable reality of our world nowadays? And like, we're gonna have to have parties where people show up and they're gonna be like, this is a no phone, no technology zone, no microphones, no cameras, no nothing. Live in the moment. Because I very much can see that. And I don't think we are that far. We're very much on the precipice of that. Like, we're maybe a battery shift or two away where like everything you do will be like the Truman Show. It will be documented, it will be captured, it will be logged, and life logging will be a thing. That can be heavy or that could be exciting. I don't know which way to sit. Me personally, I see the benefits in both, but I also think that now, as we have people thinking about AI ethics, as we have people thinking about, you know, the AI's impact on society at large, I do think we're going to see some unique things kind of derive from this. Also, I'm gonna leave those mess ups in this video. I'm not editing this. I do these just because I'm capturing my notes, so y'all get to see me miss my free throws and me hit my points too, because if I just don't have the time to go and edit. And so I hate to leave you with something that's a little unpolished, but hey, it is what it is. If you have more questions or thoughts, just leave a comment. I'll come in and tap in. You know, this is a open forum. I'm just here jotting notes. I form my opinions based on the questions that you have. So I always tell people, hey, leave some feedback, so that prompts me to think even further. With that being said, I will catch you in the future.